So today I wanted to talk to you guys about why it seems like so many people are quitting Overwatch, or at least quitting playing the game. Now, I know a lot of people have told me that they are currently watching my videos, enjoying them, but they just don't play the game anymore. And they haven't even played competitive for months, and I think that's kind of weird. And I think that we can kind of notice that something might be wrong with the system, and today I want to talk about some of the main problems, and I guess some of the ways that maybe Blizzard could fix this, other than just doing nothing. And anyways, here we are with my three main ideas. So, the first one is, just purely what I said, Blizzard really hasn't done much to fix any big competitive problems this entire year. What they've done is gotten rid of the coin flip, which is of course a good idea, kind of changed how much SR you get from, winning and losing, and changing up a few other small things, but that's mainly it. The majority of the system is the same. And that's a problem for a lot of people. I feel like something that Blizzard should have done, since so many people are dissatisfied with it, with the system that is to change up the competitive system every single season, maybe quite a bit. Maybe one season you make so that, there's role queue, and if everybody hates it, you get rid of it. And then after the season, you make so that everyone always gains 25 per win and loses 25 per loss, and people like it, you keep it, otherwise you get rid of it. And they could continually try these different ideas that the community has come up with and see what kind of works for them. And if none of them work, well, at least people are going to be continuously brought back into the game, seeing these new cool changes coming into competitive and things that maybe might bring some light into their games and change up how the game kind of works. I feel like something that has just kind of held the game back a ton is that there's no real reason to hope for a better competitive mode in the future. It's been like an entire year, and what have people really gotten in return? Not too much. I know that there have always been promises of better competitive and changing stuff, but it's been so long that for a lot of the community, it's already too long, and it just kind of gets rid of their hopes. So for the first thing I really wish they would do is just try out stuff every single season. Seasons are only 2 months long, so if it completely goes down the pooper, whatever, it's not way too bad for you. Change it up in 2 seasons. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is that seasons themselves actually have little to no meaning, and I guess this could kind of contradict with the first thing, but with how the seasons go so far, and, they're probably going to keep doing this forever, they are, again, every single 2 months, or somewhere about that. Sometimes it's near 3 months, but they are, pretty dang short, let's be honest. And I feel like the problem about this is that it makes the seasons feel like they don't matter at all. I mean, who cares if you got Matches in Season 5, and then Diamond in Season 6, and then Diamond in Season 7, at the very bottom of Diamond because you just didn't want to play. There's just really no meaning to play in these seasons. There's no different reward, there's no different change, there's not like, a portrait around yourself that you want to try to get every single season. The only reason to try to, rank up right now is to get better and improve, but for a lot of people, they already did that 2 or 3 seasons ago, and they're just kind of done right now. Another thing about seasons that I feel like is just a problem is that if they keep the seasons this short, it just kind of makes the season themselves really boring. Every single season there's a few small hero changes, maybe one hero rework if we're lucky, on, kind of close to like a new hero releasing as well, one of those two, and that's kind of how it is, and that's kind of how you play it out. And I feel like that just isn't way too exciting. While that can get some people that like that hero back into the game, the majority of the gameplay is very similar, not way too much has changed, and I feel like the main example that I want to kind of compare this to is League. Now, of course, League does very, very long seasons. Those are like a year and a half, 2 seasons. I don't know, they're very long. I wouldn't say Overwatch needs seasons that long, but it makes every single season kind of feel really unique. It makes it feel like you had to put in a lot of time for, a lot of effort, and in the end, you get your reward, and it just really is fulfilling. As well, though, what I think is pretty good about that game is that every new season brings something completely fresh. In one season, they just completely changed the jungle. In another season, they completely changed one of the roles. Every single season is different. Every single season brings some people back in. This newest season, they brought in runes into the game, and I know you can't really do quite as much of that in Overwatch. I know that you can't really just completely overhaul the game every single season, but I feel like they could do a little bit more, and that might be able to bring people in. Another thing I want to talk about really quickly is the seasonal events. I think these have just completely turned off so many people from this game. The Junkenstein event was absolutely horrendous. Nothing was new, really. There was a few new skins, but that was about it, and there was no reason to get hyped for it. It was just the same thing again, and if every single event is like that, kind of like, Lucio Ball was again, I think people are just going to stop liking the game more and more, and I guess that's not really connected to seasons, but that's another thing about the game that's kind of making a lot of people stop. But now to my final thing, the third thing that I feel like is making a lot of people quit, is the fact that there's no real esports to hook people into the game. And I know that the esports is finally coming, but for so many people, it's just too late, and they've really lost interest. I know a lot of people that still play Overwatch, they still play Quick Play and Arcade and enjoy themselves, but they've kind of gotten done with playing competitive. I mean, again, it's been out for like 7 seasons, there's been a lot of time to get in and to get out, and I feel like for most people, it's, you know, kind of that time where you get out and start playing some other games. And what would normally be, you know, keeping people in the game and keeping them hyped is competitive esports. They could be watching that, wanting to become an esport player themselves, or maybe just, you know, kind of get hyped up from them and want to try to play, as we see again with like CSGO and League of Legends. But it's just kind of too late now, I think, in a lot of cases. And even though they are pushing in a lot of esports, I really think that they should have done it quite a bit earlier, and that would have been able to hold a lot more players. As far as it is right now, I think that they're going to have to put in a lot more effort into their esports. They're going to have to make sure it is really high quality, try to push it all over the place, you know, on their YouTube channel, on their game itself, you know, just a lot of good advertising for it, and maybe, you know, we can get some esports, bring people back in, and start enjoying the game again. But if they don't really put in way too much effort, if it just turns out to be subpar like a lot of the esports so far has been in Overwatch, I think, again, it's going to be where a lot of people just don't really have much interest and just continue to stop playing the game. But that's really all I'm going to say about this topic, about why I feel like so many people are quitting Overwatch. Now, personally, I still am enjoying the game. The gameplay's still fun. I mean, it's very similar to what it's been for months, but it still is fun. It's one of my favorite games that I've ever played. But, you know, I hope that there are eventually some changes, one direction or another direction. You know, some of these changes don't even fit together, but just at least doing something, I think that is the most important thing to keep people in, because honestly, you could probably change nothing for Quick Play and people would play it for a long time, but competitive, I don't know, people are a little bit more needy, I guess, or at least myself is a little bit more needy. Anyways, as always, guys, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching again. I don't know why I said that. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and please do tell me in the comment section down below why you've either quit the game, why one of your friends have quit the game, and what would bring you back into the game. I really want this to be, you know, I know the video is a bit negative because I kind of talked about the problems, but I really want this to bring out something positive, people's good ideas, and what could help fix the game in the future. As, you know, I want to help it improve, and I know that it could have a very long life cycle, like 7 or 8 years, if the game is improved a little bit, even just in one way or another. Anyways, as always, guys, thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful day.